I was surprised, speaking to Rudy, that I had never heard anyone explain the details of the election fraud in Georgia and the details in Philadelphia and the details in Arizona. And I was listening to him thinking, I never got past the PSYOP war of people just saying, oh, that's a conspiracy. Oh, how dare you say that? Or it's illegal for you to say that. To where I never heard the details. And now I have Rudy Giuliani, former mayor of New York, who put mafia heads of state in prison, big Wall Street players like Boesky. And here he is giving me the details that I had never heard before in a credible manner, to where I was like, what? Wait a second. How come no one's heard this, let alone why isn't this?
This is racketeering and corrupt action. This is RICO.
Okay. Yeah.
That's really what's happening. And you can't say it. There's no way it can be prosecuted. And the other thing, this is another one that's kind of really pushed me into the Austrian school and the Murray Rothbard world, is Rothbard makes the case that one of the flaws of the American Constitution is they put the judiciary, which is supposed to oversee the legislative and executive branches, they put the Supreme Court within the same political structure. Okay, it should have been outside, independent, but it's functionally within because they're appointed and they're confirmed and all that. And the consequence that Rothbard asserts is that in these democracies, there's a lot of people would argue that we should call America, the USA, a democracy as opposed to a representative republic. But in this kind of political structure, the proper function of the judiciary is to legitimize and support the state. And when I say that to my lawyer buddies for the first time, they're like incensed. Oh, no, that's not. And then I say, yeah, but think about it. Okay. And then within about 5 to 10 minutes, they come around and they're like, yeah, I can see that point of view. And you can't have gone through what we've all observed during the COVID crisis and the willingness of the judiciary to support the positions of the executive branch and these egregious violations of bioethics, of fun, the rights to congregate, the prohibition on unreasonable search and seizure, the prohibition on state sticking its nose into religion, when there was all this enforcement of lockdowns in churches and prevention of congregations assembling and the lawfare around that. You can't look at in the lawsuits that were brought about the censorship and about the damages caused by the jabs and the illegal mandates, which, by the way, hey, we're coming up on an annual, do I say celebration? We're coming up on, I think it's third anniversary of Biden declaring the mandates, the jab mandates, next Monday. So everybody that's listening to this, if it comes out before Monday, please go on social media and make a BFD about what happened with the mandates. But the courts reinforced it. The courts were all in, based on the obscure Supreme Court ruling like 100 years ago when we were having a smallpox outbreak or something like that in New England. And there was a determination that the state had the right to mandate the jab in that context at that time. And so that's been broadened to basically, the imperial right of the state to violate your bodily autonomy whenever it feels inclined. You can't, the judiciary and the whole legal system it's not just the destruction of the credibility of the hospital systems and the medical system. It is the destruction of the credibility of the legal system across, it's certainly the Five Eyes Alliance states, the former British states.
Yeah.
And you guys are living it now with this, substituting one WEFR for another WEFR.
I want to get to the UK, and I want to get also to your call on the monkeypox and the WHO, because it'd be criminal of me not to ask you that
So
while we're here.
you want to go there now?
What I'd like to do is finish up with the Bobby's endorsement just to close this thing out because, first of all, by the way, I made an observation just now, thanks to you, Robert, that my reaction to Rudy explaining the election fraud shows that the Psywar is working on me because
Absolutely.
I was like shocked, and part of me in my subconscious believed the constant repetition of, it's a conspiracy, there's no real evidence, so that's why I was so shocked when I heard the details, because I was like, wow, how come I've never heard this before? Because the Psywar even worked on me to where I thought probably deep down inside, maybe they were pushing it a little bit. So anyways, just an observation.
Remember that the term conspiracy theory was injected into the national discourse and global discourse by the FBI and the CIA intentionally after the assassination, after that first coup in 1963.
Yeah.
That was when that term was actively deployed and weaponized and has been ever since. It's very effective.
Yeah. And
just like controlled opposition. There are these core concepts that just work.
Yeah, and that is a demonstration of what you're talking about with this Psywar and fifth generation, that alone. And yeah, I've learned that in the last year or two that was introduced during that time as it is representative of everything you talk about, especially in the new book. Just closing this thread out, Bobby doing the endorsement, walking on stage to I Need a Hero, the fireworks. I saw the backstage stuff and I thought to myself, man, Bobby's done rallies, but he must be thinking, man, these people don't play here. It was a beautiful moment. You know, I was getting, I don't know, goosebumps and emotions and everything, but also thinking about it, I mean, that takes a guy who really cares about the country to let that all go.
It was a historic moment.
It's a historic moment.
Well put.
And character,
real
character.
Yes, character. Well put.
You know,
character, integrity, commitment to a bigger common cause.
Yeah.
How many people do we have in politics, in national and global politics, that would have the fortitude to take a position like that in the face of Trump not budging an inch on Bobby's key topic area of Operation Warp Speed and the jab?
Right. Yeah.
And still he came across. That what that demonstrates is that there is a sector of society which Bobby captures and represents, as does Nicole, that is profoundly disturbed by what they're observing with the tactics. I mean, think about it. This was Bobby's network moment. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore, was basically, if you wanted to compress that whole speech into one statement, that was it. And what made him so mad? The shenanigans that were deployed against him were amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that was what pushed him over to recognize that today's Democrat Party can never be the Kennedy Democrats that he envisioned existed.
The things they did to him, I mean, it's just shocking. You know, I mean, imagine if his father or, you know, his uncle could see their party and what they did to Bobby. I mean, it's just hard to believe. But that decision, I'd say zero other politicians in the world would have done that. Again, they'd want to see the poll numbers alone. They would want to say, look, I got 20% of the vote or 15 or whatever. I mean,
well, he's not really a politician. You keep referring to him as a politician.
Yeah.
He's more of a intellectual thought leader with a mission. And my interpretation was that this demonstrates his core commitment to that mission and to the general populace and to his fundamental kind of belief structure. That, if I can share one last anecdote. So after this happens, the press is on him again. And Atlantic Monthly drags out somebody that knew him in his 20s, who gives an anecdote which the Atlantic Monthly publishes that Bobby sold him some cocaine in the 70s, remember, okay? Okay, and they make a big deal about Bobby sold this guy a little bit of coke in the 70s. Okay, one 20-something to another 20-something. I've heard Bobby say his closet is so full of skeletons, they're piling out. The guy is an admitted, recovered heroin addict.
Yeah.
Okay, think about, you want to talk about journeys. To come from, frankly, credit where credit's due, if my father and my uncle had been brutally assassinated in the way that his were, I probably would have committed suicide. I can't imagine merging with any kind of intact psychological integrity. I mean, the force of will to overcome that alone is a profound testimony. So I, as I said before, I consider him a friend. He wrote back on X saying that he considered me a friend, and an incredible human being. Whatever you think, whatever you disagree or agree with, I think you have to acknowledge that this man, can we say that in the UK? This man is truly an amazing American.
Hey, I know investing in crypto is scary. It takes a real leap of faith because there are so many scams, rug pulls, and bad actors out there. It's a dangerous business, which is why 95% of people lose all their money. Well, that's why I created the London Real Investment Club, so you can access the hottest deals on the planet and use the crypto bull market to create the generational wealth that you deserve. Join my team of over 100 people from around the world that are making millions of dollars behind the scenes investing in blockchain, AI, Web3 games, DeFi, Bitcoin, and more. Don't miss out. Click the link below to book a call with one of my team now. But hurry, this bull market will end soon.
I know investing in crypto can be scary. That's why you gotta join the investment club. Pull the trigger. Let's do this.